Hey everybody, I'm real excited today to be joined by Garrett Burnett with Farm Bureau. Prior to starting this video, we were discussing a policy for one of our customers, and we were talking about different things they can do to save money.
Right.
So take it away, Garrett. I want to hear the things now that you've got them wrote down and organized, let's talk about it.
Right. So good morning. Like you said, I'm Garrett Burnett. I work with Farm Bureau Insurance. These are questions that come up a lot from people that are buying homes, even people that currently own homes and have homeowner policies. These are just some good little tips and tricks, if you will. It's close to Halloween, for you to check over your existing policy and just find ways to shave money off. Everybody wants to do that. Everybody wants to save money. One of the biggest ways that I see come up are the discounts and credits that you get through wind mitigation inspections. A wind mitigation inspection is going to tell you several things about your home. The first one being the age of the roof. When you talk about age of roof, with a lot of companies, it's an eligibility factor. If the roof's over 15 years old, some companies don't want to touch that. But that wind mitigation inspection is going to identify the year that roof was replaced or the age of that home. Now, one thing I need to say about wind mitigation inspections is you don't really need them if the house was built after March 2002. That's when the latest building codes came into effect, and every house that's built after that year most likely gets all these credits for hurricane clips and the nail pattern in the roof deck attachment. But the first thing you're going to find on there is the age of the roof. The next thing you're going to find is if the house has hurricane clips or hurricane straps. The general rule of thumb is on a masonry house, it's going to have straps. It's going to be a strap that's about an inch and a half wide. It comes up out of the masonry wall and wraps over the truss, and it's got to have 3 nails in it and one on every truss. This is a huge discount. Usually on a frame home, you see what's called a hurricane clip, and it is attached to the wood frame wall, and it twists and attached to the truss on one side and the wall on the other. So these are pretty easy to see in your attic with a flashlight. If you have attic access, just look out to the edge of the roof. If you see those clips on every truss, check with your homeowner carrier or your agent that's quoting the house that you may be buying, and see what those discounts are. They're different for every company. Some companies, they're just a few bucks. I've seen them as high as $800 and $900 for Farm Bureau policies. The next thing you're going to see on there is the nail pattern in the roof deck attachment. And this gets a little bit technical, but 6D nails, 8D nails, it's going to identify which nails are in that roof decking, how it's attached to the truss. And then it's going to identify the spacing. So the spacing is a big deal. It's going to be 12 inch or 6 inch. So your 8D nail with a 6 inch spacing, that's your biggest discount on the wind mitigation. It's also going to identify the type of roof, and this is important. There's several different kinds of roofs, but basically you see a hip or a gable. And to explain that in layman's terms, if you we're going to hang Christmas lights on your house, and those lights, if you hung them on the roof line and they went all the way around the house in a straight line, that would be a hip roof. If they go up into a point anywhere, that would be a gable roof.
That's a good way to explain it.
So think about, you see a mobile home. Typically a mobile home, the ends of the homes, that's a gable. Hip roof has a lot more of a discount usually than a gable. But one neat thing in there is if you measure the whole outside distance of the roof, if not more than 10% of that roof is gable, it still can qualify as a hip. So a lot of people don't know that. And we see policies from time to time that people have when they're quoting their insurance. They send us their policy and we look through it, and it's got an 8% gable. So it would qualify as a hip, and their current policy says gable. So they could make one change there and save a few $100s a year. And that's big. Every little bit helps. The next thing that I see is the valuation. So in the homeowner's policy, this is gonna be called a RCE or an RCT, a replacement cost estimator or a replacement cost translator. And it's basically a system inside of every homeowner's insurance quoting system where you enter the details of the house, is it frame or concrete block, how many square feet is it, age of it. There's a lot of factors that go in. So you input all this information and it spits a number out at the bottom that says, it would cost $263,000 to replace this house. That's how we come up with what your house should be insured for. A lot of times there's a little bit of confusion there because people are looking at a purchase price of a house versus the insured value, and in most cases you've got land included in that purchase price. So if you're sitting on 10 acres, that insured value or coverage A of that house could be very different than that purchase price because we're not covering that land. So that's why sometimes that can be different. It's good to call every once in a while, every couple of years, and ask your agent to rerun your RCE and make sure you're not overpaying or buying something that you would never get. You wouldn't want to insure a $200,000 house for $300,000. It's a lot more premium and you're never going to get the $300,000. Another little thing is other structure coverage. There are many homes that don't have a detached man cave, detached garage, a work shed. You just don't have another structure on your property. It's the house only. And with some companies, you can take off the other structure coverage and save a little bit of money. Alarm systems are a way to save. They're not huge, but as I said in the beginning, every little bit helps. So if you have an alarm system that reports to a fire station, police station, if it reports burglar and fire, those are some of the biggest discounts you can get. In my opinion, it's not worth going and getting an alarm system because the savings doesn't overcome the cost of it. But if you already have it, you should be getting that discount.
Who can do the wind mitigation inspections? What type of, to meet your approval, if we have a homeowner out there or a buyer that thinks they can save money, what do they need to do?
Any real home inspector can do it. Any licensed home inspection company. A lot of times the realtors that I work with, they have people that they refer to. And I see a lot of times every house, just about every house gets a home inspection. And a lot of the inspectors that I work with, they have to go into the attic anyway. So they'll go ahead and look, and if they see hurricane clips, a lot of times they'll say, hey, you probably should go ahead and get this other inspection, and then they'll give you a little bit of a discount because they're already there. You should see that inspection cost anywhere from $75 to probably $125.
So it should be an immediate savings, even if somebody bought a house 5 years ago and they think they qualify. For that price, it's worth it.
Yeah, and that's really one of our niches in pricing with Farm Bureau. If you've got a house that's built anywhere from 1990 to about 2001, with a couple of variables, especially if it's in a rural area, a PC 10, protection class 10, where it's some distance to a fire station and it's over 1,000 feet to a hydrant, those are up charges on a policy. We're really good in the PC 10 area, 90s era house with hurricane clips. They're just huge discounts in there for that.
Yeah, cool deal. How do we get a hold of you? How does customers contact you if they want to get a quote or get any information? So
Garrett Burnett, everybody can find me on Facebook. My cell phone number is 352-254-1642. My office number is 352-378-1389, extension 2. Email address, garrett.burnett@ffbic.com. Call Dewey, he can give you my number.
Hey, man, I appreciate you coming on. That's a lot of good information, especially about saving money with the wind mitigation, because I saw those reductions myself. So
right.
And I didn't know on the other structures on the alarm system. I never even thought about the alarm system, but it's worth a try.
Yeah.
Savings.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
me.
Thank you.